Hey guys, happy Valentine's Day. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Christy and this is This Country Girl's Life. It was storming here this morning and now it is super windy. We're having 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. They just said on the news there was one that was 78 miles an hour. So you may hear a lot of that in the background. I don't know. If you're new to my channel, I have a bunch of dogs and they're in the house, and I have a footless rooster named Steve who also has a coop in the house because he's not safe outside because no feet. Sometimes he chimes in, and my members here and subscribers are known as the Steve Squad. They all love him. Some people find him annoying, but hopefully you can stick with this video because it's an important one today, guys. Real quick, I'm going to show you my Valentine's shirt, a heart made out of chickens. Thought that was super cute. Today we're going to take a break from talking about the other higher profile cases that we've been covering and cover one that I feel like should be a higher profile case, and hopefully it will get there. It's very close to my heart. As you know, I am a military family member. I am a military brat. I'm a military spouse, a military mom, a military sister, and I have a ton of military friends. And today we are going to talk about a missing veteran, and she may be in danger. So if you don't do anything else today, please share this video. And I'm going to share her missing flyer on all of my social media. And if you could share that, and I will put all of the relevant hashtags to get the word out there. Do that for me today. Do that for me as my Valentine's present, if you will. I would love nothing more than to do anything and everything we can to help bring Rachel Schwartz back to her family. They miss her, they love her, and they need her home. So that's who we're going to be talking about today. Like I said, this is very close to my heart because she is a veteran, she is a mother, and she's gone missing under sketchy circumstances. Now, I first heard about this from a Fox News alert, and I read the article, and immediately it got my attention. And then I was researching about it, and there's not a whole lot out there, but I did find a couple more articles. And then I reached out to some of the family members, and I'm so glad that I did, because I found out that some of the information in the articles, other than the Fox News article, was incorrect. And we see this in a lot of cases, right? You have to be very careful with who you're getting your information from because there's a lot of inaccurate information out there. The New York Post had an article, and they hadn't even reached out to the family. The Daily Mail had an article, and they didn't even spell her name right. So that was upsetting. So the information that I'm going to give to you today, I did fact check with a family member, with her sister, and I've asked her to stay in contact with any updates and anything they can think of that might help bring her home. Any information that they want to get out there, because I want to bring you factual information that you can count on. Things that are verified that will be useful in finding Rachel and bringing her home. So let's dive in to the story. Let me give you all of the relevant details, and we're going to look at a lot of pictures of her because I want you to see her face as much as possible. I want to get her name, her face, and her story out there everywhere. Spread it wide and far. because you never know who could be where that might have known or heard or saw something. And sometimes it's the smallest thing that can make all the difference. So, Rachel Schwartz is 33 years old. She's 5'2". She weighs about 100 pounds. Very thin build. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. She was last seen wearing blue pants, a white sleeveless shirt, carrying a black suitcase, along with a smaller black and like an orange reddish bag. Like I said, she's the mother of 2. She's an Army veteran who served in Iraq. She was last seen on January 31st of 2023 in Spring Hill, Florida, roughly 50 miles north of Tampa. She does suffer from PTSD. She was last seen on Ring camera footage leaving the home of her ex-boyfriend, John Scorah, in, I'm going to mispronounce this, y'all, but remember, I'm from Oklahoma, not Florida, Wamama in Hillsborough County, Florida, on January 31st at 5:46 p.m. So let's take a look at this Ring camera footage, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more.
Rachel, I have everything you need. I'm asking for one more day.
All right, did you hear that? So in the background, you can hear a man saying, Rachel, I have everything you need. I'm asking you for one more day, as she walks away from the home. Now, this is significant, and I'm going to tell you why. The history between her and this man is not good. And with that being the last sighting of her, it's concerning. So before we get into that, I want to reiterate that Rachel is former military and she may be in danger. It's important to get her name, face, and story out there. She suffers from PTSD and other stress-related illness, according to her brother-in-law, Benjamin Schrupp. Her family has not had contact with her since January 31st, when she last spoke with her dad. Relatives, including the father of her children, this is not the same ex from where the Ring camera footage is. This is somebody entirely different. Relatives, including the father of her children, filed a missing person report with the Hernando County Sheriff's Office. Now let's talk about the situation with the ex. Actually, this is a still from that Ring camera video. This is the last known sighting of her. And let's put up another picture of her while we talk. So the situation with the ex. Rachel had a rocky on-again, off-again relationship with her ex-boyfriend named John Scorah, Scorah. She had recently told her dad that she was afraid of him. Court records show that police charged Scorah with battery in April of 2022. Rachel posted his bond, and prosecutors dropped the case in October. Rachel then moved back to her home state of Minnesota to get away from him. Her brother-in-law Benjamin has screenshots and text messages between Rachel and a friend last year that showed her concerns about her safety and discussing an order of protection. In early January, Rachel returned to Florida to visit her 2 sons who live with their father. At some point during the trip, she visited her ex, Scorah, at his home, and this is where the Ring camera footage shows her leaving at 5:46 p.m. on January 31st. Rachel was supposed to fly home to Minnesota on February 4th. Her last message to her dad was that she wanted to come home and she was afraid of her ex. After that, her phone and social media accounts went silent. Now, her sister Elizabeth told me that her dad told her to call her mom to, coordinate flight times, pickup times, etc. And Rachel never called. After she spoke to her dad, there has been no more contact with anyone. Police have conducted welfare checks on her ex-boyfriend's home. One time he didn't answer the door, and another was done after she had been missing for almost a week. Calls to her phone are going to voicemail. Rachel is also known by friends and family as Raeana, Raeana. So, I know that you're all sitting there saying, okay, it's DV, right? And yes, it sounds like it was a DV situation. And charges were filed and she bailed him out. Well, we know this is very common in domestic violence relationships. They're hard to understand if you aren't in one or have never been in one. Your thinking is not normal, is the only way I can explain it, having been through it myself. But after that, she knew to be safe, she had to get away from him, and she moved to Minnesota to be away from him. Now, I don't know why she decided to visit him while she was in Florida, but we clearly see her leaving his home. She knew that she needed to leave, and he's trying to get her to stay one more day. One thing we know about DV relationships, the most dangerous time in those relationships is when you decide to leave. Now, she had left before successfully. Did something trigger him this time that she wouldn't stay that extra day? Did something go horribly wrong? I don't know, and I don't want to think that. But the history between her and the ex, knowing that was the last sighting of her, it is concerning and needs to be looked at very carefully. So if she is out there, she's probably scared. She could be hiding, just trying to avoid him. Maybe she doesn't have access to her phone. Maybe that's why she hasn't been able to make contact with anyone. I don't know. We don't know. There's really no details. So just please keep your eyes out for her. Let me put up another picture. Her sister wanted me to let you know that she loves big hats, big jewelry, and big sunglasses. If her hair is up, she wears it pulled back in a low military style bun. She has blonde hair, but is naturally a dark strawberry blonde. So if there's any growth to her hair, she may have reddish roots. She also has a lot of freckles if she's not wearing makeup. And as you can see, she's very beautiful. Very beautiful. I'm sure she would catch your eye if you saw her out. Now, I am so impressed. Like I said, she is an Army veteran. It sounds like she was in for about 4 years, and she started a family with the father of her children and decided that she was not going to re-enlist because one of them wanted to be home with the kids. So he re-enlisted and she did not. But she did serve, and she did serve in Iraq. Now, amazingly, this tiny little girl is a paratrooper with the 82nd Airborne Division. So I said to her sister, I was like, wow, she must be a really tough, feisty young lady. Because I know from my husband and my son being in like the military police, you know, it's a very male dominated field, and the females that are in there, they're tough, they're feisty, they're, you know, they are strong. So I can only imagine her personality. And her sister shared a story with me, which is very appropriate since it's Valentine's Day. She said that her sister actually broke her nose right before Valentine's Day on one of her jumps. Her sister remembers Rachel telling them that she was dragged another 20 feet or so after landing from her jump. Can you imagine? And right before Valentine's Day. So, yeah, you guys, we have to do everything we can for this veteran, this mom, this amazing, strong young woman, and get her back to her family. Now, the numbers that you can call, her case number is number 230-4846, and you can call the Hernando County Sheriff's Department at 352-754-6830. And of course, I will link all of this in the description box below. Some of the relevant hashtags that I've seen being used with this are hashtag bring Rachel Anna home, hashtag no one left behind, and we are the essentials. And then of course, you know, you can do camo alert, military, veteran, missing person, just her name, anything to get it out there. And I would really appreciate it if you would share my video on your social media, you know, share it on Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere that you share. And like I said, share this flyer. I'm going to post the flyer. I'll put it on the community tab for the channel. I will put it on all of my socials, and let's get it out there to as many people as possible. I want everyone to know her face, and when they see that picture, say, hey, that's Rachel. People need to be looking for her. I don't know. I'm not pointing fingers. There's Steve, guys. He's saying happy Valentine's Day. I'm not pointing fingers at the ex, but it is suspicious, and it needs to be checked out. So if you know him and know him well enough to get him to talk to you, to tell you anything about Rachel, her time spent visiting him, you know, were things okay? Was she upset? Anything like that. Anything would be great. Anything you can find out, please call. If you see something, say something. If you saw something, say something. If you hear something, say something. Just call it in. It would be better to call in a tip and have it not be useful than to not call something in that could have helped. Okay? So please do this for me. And we're going to go over it one more time. Rachel Schwartz, 33 years old, 5'2", 100 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes, last seen wearing blue pants, a white sleeveless shirt, carrying a black suitcase along with a smaller black and orange bag. She's a mother of two, an Army veteran who served in Iraq, last seen on January 31st, 2023 in Spring Hill, Florida, roughly 50 miles north of Tampa. She suffers from PTSD. She missed her flight home to Minnesota on February 4th, and the last contact she had was with her dad on the 31st, saying she wanted to come home and she was scared of her ex, and it was that ex where the Ring camera footage was seen. And I'm going to play that for you as well one more time. Sorry, Steve's hollering and now the dogs are starting. I apologize. Okay, here's that Ring camera video one more time.
Bye. Yeah. Rachel, I have everything you need. I'm asking for one more day.
Okay, guys, do your thing. Let's get this spread around out there everywhere you can think of to share it. Share it. I want to thank you so much for spending a little bit of your Valentine's Day with me to learn about Rachel and her case and help us get the word out. I'm going to try not to get blown away. It's starting to sound kind of scary outside. I hope that you all have a fantastic Valentine's Day. And as always, I will see you all in the next one.